To read you guys these memories. Sorry, Mason was texting me, that popped up on my feed today, because the last video I posted has me talking about these memories that popped up. So I want to share what they actually were. These were from several years ago when Hunter, who is 13 now, in kindergarten here. So let me just read these to you. So here's the memory that popped up today on my Facebook. And like I said, it's from Hunter being in kindergarten. It's the end of the year, this day, that many years ago. It says, so I have to vent for a moment. We have struggled and struggled with Hunter's teachers and administrators and so forth. Today is his field trip to the zoo with his class. I was called a week ago and they tried to tell me that they were not going to let him go. I fought that. Then they told me a few days ago, again, that they didn't want him going because we can't trust him. That was their exact words. I let them know that they are not allowed to keep him from going on the field trip because he had earned it, and that I would be there to be his aide because they had refused to give him one all year long. Then this morning, his teacher called me and rudely explained that if Hunter was allowed to go, he would not, all capitals, be given anything to eat, and that I must provide the food for him. I told them that I would be there and to follow the bus to the zoo at the appropriate time and to not call me again. So when I pulled in to follow the buses, they refused to allow me on the bus to ride with him. He was roughly brought to me and he was sobbing. I was told that Hunter is not allowed on the bus, and if I choose to drive him myself, that I can accompany him and none of the other kids or parents. Basically, I was told that we had to keep our distance from everyone else. There was absolutely no reason why any of this should be happening. Hunter had done nothing, absolutely nothing wrong this morning or any other day in the previous weeks. When we arrived at the zoo, we found the school and stood in line to enter the zoo. The teachers addressed everyone saying the following, and this is all in quotations here. We will be eating first. Everyone go to the pavilion. And then they turned to me. You two can do whatever. Then to everyone else. We will be meeting here at 1:30 to go home. She turns again to me. You two can do whatever you want. If we see you, then we see you. Are you kidding me? We went where everyone else was eating and had to sit alone. And were promptly ignored the entire time by absolutely everyone except two very kind ladies and her two kids. They stayed with, it was one lady and her two kids who had been watching this all unfold. They stayed with us the whole time and treated us completely like normal people, which is what Hunter and I are. I'm going to cry. Whenever we said anything to any of the others that were with the school, we got eye rolls, snickering, and whispers. When it was time to go, the sweetheart that was with me and her kids got a call from the teacher and was told to go to the front and meet the other kids. She told the teacher that Hunter was with her kids, and then she was told, oh, whatever. So we walked up front, and I had a piece of paper shoved in my face and was told to sign it, saying that I was taking responsibility for him the rest of the day. Then I was waved away without a single word. Hunter tried to say goodbye to his teacher and friends and was again completely ignored. These pictures, when Hunter says goodbye, he runs up to you. Bye! I'll see you later! Completely ignored. These pictures, and I'll share them, were from after I had finally calmed him down on our way to the zoo. He couldn't understand why he was being punished. It was heartbreaking. He fell asleep shortly after leaving at the end, and then I lost it. I cried the entire way home. The disrespect that this kid gets from adults that are supposed to be in charge of him is inexcusable. This is why I pulled him out of school in the first place. I had faith that we could conquer the end of this year, but we are done. He will not be going back. How can so-called educators be allowed to act like this towards a 7-year-old first grader? It was first grade, not kindergarten. This has been one of the worst situations I've had to deal with, and it is heartbreaking to think that this is the environment that this poor kid has been in since January. I don't know. Maybe I was a horrible mom for even trying to send him back. And this is a public school system. Now I'm going to read you another one. This happened just a few years ago at a dance recital. One of the absolute hardest things about our kinds of autism is that you can't look at the kids and see what's going on. It makes people so angry and judgmental when they don't know what is really going on. I just had a seriously embarrassing moment that totally brought me to tears in front of a room full of adults and kids. Let me explain. The 2 girls had their dress rehearsal tonight, and Brandon was working, so I had to take all 5 kids, this is when Marley was living with us, alone at the worst time of day. Hunter was horrible the entire time, but I do think he tried. He tried to handle it. It just didn't look like it from the outside. He yelled, he was disrespectful, and slapping his brothers repeatedly. I did my best to help the girls with all their costume changes and deal with all Hunter's drama at the same time. I fully admit I did a horrible job at this tonight. I was not super mom tonight, by any means. When I was trying my best to get the girls changed out of their outfits and control the boys and get them all out of there as quickly as possible while trying to keep quiet and not cause any more problems for any of the other girls trying to dance, the boys took off out into the hallway and did who knows what. And while I was trying to grab the 2 garment bags, 6 different outfits and pairs of shoes, other bags, and my own stuff as well. Apparently, Hunter was loud and disrespectful enough that a guy brought him back to me and loudly, where the whole place could hear, told me how horrible he was. I did my best to calm the guy and made Hunter try several times to apologize appropriately. He struggled with this. I have got to say, it was so embarrassing. I got out into the hallway as fast as possible after trying to grab everything and found the guy to explain that I was sorry and that Hunter has autism and often he looks like a disrespectful, horrible kid, but we really are working on it. We are by no means there yet, but we are trying. That's what I explained to this man. I hustled out of there with the girls halfway dressed and burst into tears. Another mom and dad stopped me while I was attempting to get the girls' shoes on so that we don't destroy the tights that I had spent so much money on because they were bare feet. This mom, I didn't even have time to get their shoes on. This mom hugged me and told me it was really okay. And this is the part I want to make a note of. She was so sweet. And I can't get through it. She was so sweet. And so was her husband. And I cannot tell you how horrible this experience was. I try so hard. And I have these kinds of experiences all the time. I just want to crawl into a hole and hide. I can't stop crying even now, an hour after the experience. Autism is so hard. Please, people, be kind. Many of us parents are truly doing the best that we absolutely can. Many times there is so much more going on than it looks like on the outside. Please just be kind. So, I wish I didn't have to just read that story, but those were the words that I wrote those times. And those are just 2 experiences. These things happen constantly. When we have a Down syndrome nephew who is Mason's age and a very low functioning autistic nephew that is Mason's age. So when you line up my Down syndrome nephew, my autism nephew, and then Mason, who has autism and ADHD and anxiety and depression and all of these other things, you can see the disabilities in the other 2 kids. You cannot see it in children like mine. I was never one of those people that judged other parents. I just realized so young that I really have no idea what your life is like because I'm not a part of it. So I don't have any right to judge you. I think that I had a unique experience in that, and I don't think that other people think the way that I do. I think that I have had horrible, horrible, horrible comments about my children, about the way I parent, about their education, their intelligence, and I've had many things said to me. I've even had people say to me, when medical doctors had diagnosed them, that I'm an idiot and that they will grow out of it. Well, I've worked for 14 years to get us where we are. I have worked so hard. And my point is that it doesn't matter if you know how hard I've worked, or anyone knows how hard I've worked, or how far we've come. The thing is, we have to stop judging each other. We really don't know anyone else's situation, no matter how much they explain it to us. Be kind. Be nice. Let's root for each other. Let's help each other. You know, when that mom and dad came out after that dance recital experience, they didn't know me. I was new to town. I was just that crazy lady with 5 insane kids she can't control. And everyone heard the situation. But yet this mom and dad followed me out and hugged me and helped me get to the car and told me that it's okay. And that's all it took for me to not feel alone anymore. So this is a raw video. These are horrible experiences that happened to one of my child, and it's just 2 experiences. Be kind.